Sentire Media.
Well, hello there. Thank you so much. You downloaded the podcast from Italy, the biannual, it seems, podcast from Italy. I'm Jason. That's Ashley laughing over there. Today is the 13th of December. A cold, 2 degrees, 1 degree, a little wintry mix coming out with a little more air snow. Coming out. A little mix of snow and rain, air coming out of the northeast, and a typical end of autumn, wintry morning.
Perfect day for a podcast.
Perfect day for a podcast. We run a little agriturismo in the Candigliano Valley called La Tavola Marche, and we do an infrequent podcast that we've been doing for quite a while. However, in the recent years, it's kind of dwindled to not really as much. I know. Every idiot has a podcast now.
I know. We get bored with our own stories, but you guys, your messages bring us back. So we thought, let's fire up the mics. It's been since June 6th, we've set our own record on the longevity between podcasts, the inconsistency. So we're back. Who knows when we'll do another one, but we thought let's give you a little update on what's been going on.
All right, take us back. Where are we?
All right, well, back to the summer, weather of the summer. It was hot, dry.
Hot and dry summer. It was, the garden did, okay. It didn't do great. It didn't do horrible.
The berry zone, we talked about building that. The blackberries did really well at first. They were a hybrid that didn't have prickles, didn't have thorns, and they didn't do well for their second round. The raspberries, on the other hand, now that took.
We were eating raspberry. I was picking raspberries just a couple of weeks ago.
I know. They did incredibly well. We got 2 full runs on them. So raspberries, we may replace the blackberries that died. I don't know if they'll come back with more raspberries.
And the blueberries we'll see.
We'll see. The sleeper success of the year, of the weirdest crop that did so well, tobacco. We
were given, 20, 25 plants of Umbrian white tobacco.
Why tobacco, Jason?
Because when we drive through into Umbria over the hills to Città di Castello, the tobacco fields it's a gorgeous plant. It's just pretty. The flowers are white with this flyer with the flames of purple and pink going through. The leaves are giant, pale yellow leaves. It's a tall plant. It's over 2.5 meters tall, 7-8 feet tall. Just a gorgeous plant. I don't know. They're just rotting in the garden right now. I mean,
everyone kept saying, "What are you going to do with them?" And it was like, I don't know. It's for the bellezza, for the beauty. They just looked cool, and they took.
They did really, really well. I don't know. Big, wide leaves, and everyone commented on how beautiful it looked. Mm-hmm. So, I guess the climate and the tobacco liked the year. But
who would have thought?
I wish that was true for the peppers or the
something we were going to actually use and consume.
Yeah.
I know. It was just kind of cool, something different. Speaking of different, we were talking before about planting saffron.
Yeah, we pushed it to this year.
Well, I forgot. I kept thinking I ordered 300 to 500 bulbs, but I really ordered 1,000, which meant the amount of space we needed was a bit more. And when we really looked at when they were supposed to arrive, we didn't prepare the soil properly. So we postponed it for this next 2023. Saffron, 1,000 bulbs coming at you.
Coming at you hard.
That'll be for October.
Yeah. Harvest in October. They'll arrive midsummer. I have a fenced-in animal area with a little pig shed built and no animals.
It's called the hog hut. Let's get it straight.
The talk of all the hunters in the valley is, what are you doing?
I would go on truffle hunts and stuff, and all the old guys and the truffle hunters would be, they all had been past our house so many times, and they'd be like, what's going on with the fence? Why did you build a fence and have nothing in it? What's going on? And so what's the plan?
Well, the truth is that if you listen to the last podcast, I'll give you the quick synopsis. That whole area was just finished late. It didn't get. It was supposed to be done in February, March. It didn't start until April.
It's called the Animal Zone.
The Animal Zone, and it wasn't done until May. And then once May came, it was time to plant the garden, and people are coming and have guests, and the summer just flies by.
So not the right time to introduce brand new animals.
Nope. And then once the autumn came, the pigs that I wanted to get from the pig farm. They didn't have the piglets ready.
They weren't ready, which is always hilarious. We were told one time picking up chickens from the hardware store. That's where you get your chickens for the most part. And that it was a rainy day. It was too rainy of a day. And the chickens are already stressed enough. Why don't we come back tomorrow when it's not supposed to be raining and bring the chickens home then? So to find out that it wasn't the right time for the pigs was not a surprise, because if it's just raining, it's not always the right time for
well,
chicken.
whatever. I don't know the exact reason why the pigs weren't ready, but I think that we'll have piglets end of February-ish, so that's fine. I don't want to throw them in now. It's the
worst time of year.
Worst time of year to have them. End of February, it starts, spring is on the way. It's still cold, but it's not dead winter.
No, but Jason does search every single day Facebook Marketplace for donkeys.
I look for donkeys every day. I have nothing to put them in, but I look for donkeys every day. That's it. Milk cow, I don't want much. Don't want much in my life. I want a milk cow, 2 donkeys, and a couple of pigs.
Well, we didn't get any of those animals, but we did end up with a surprise animal named Leroy. We've been wanting to get a dog for a long time. Every winter we research it again and again, and we've always wanted a big dog. We thought about a Saint Bernard for a long time, but everyone told us they would suffer in the heat. Kind of the same thing as a Bernese Mountain Dog was another one we were really interested in.
We settled on a Mastiff. I knew I wanted a Mastiff. I want a giant. I've always wanted a...
Then we thought short hair.
Yeah,
so
short
then
hair.
We got it to the Mastiffs. We need something big that wasn't... We don't have a proper just... now we have the animal zone, but we didn't want just to have a big fence around the house. We need a big, lazy dog that will just kind of chill.
Yes, we did not need can't have a herding dog, can't have any of the hunting dogs that they love around here. They're all nuts. They want to hunt. They want to run. They want to chase things. I can't have that. I need a big dog that's chill and just wants love and just kind of sits there. Mm-hmm. And we found him. His name's Leroy. He is a Saint Bernard. He's a Great Dane. He's Blue Great Dane. He's going to be 6 months here in a couple days. He's a handful.
And how much do you think he's weighing in at?
I don't know. We haven't gotten him on a scale in quite a while. He's a big boy.
He's got to be over 60 pounds.
Easily.
Yeah, closer to 80.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. At almost 6 months.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's stupid. He's like having an idiot baby. I love him to death, but god damn, he's a pain in the ass.
He's great with the guests. We got him in mid-September and had a kind of a slow start with the guests to introduce him. And because Great Danes can also be weirdly silly scared of weird things too. And we just thought, well, the guest is a big part of our life out here too.
He loves people.
Yep. And fine with the chickens. Gaji was definitely against this from the beginning. How stupid. He liked the idea of a dog, but of course they thought we should get a hunting dog for no reason. And what do you do with a big dumb dog like this? And just classic Gaji naysaying until he met Leroy. And then he's like, he's the most beautiful dog. He's so smart. Look at him. Oh my God. He loves the rubs.
He's a good boy. He's just hysterical because of how big and goofy he still is. And he grows every day. So he still doesn't really run properly. He's got that puppy run still, even though you forget he's this giant dog, but you forget he's just a baby.
Well, one of the most frequent questions was, how did the cats take it? 8 cats. We were really nervous about this.
The cats, for the most part, were fine. When he arrived, he was 3 months old, so he was a baby, and
but
scared of it.
Still big for a baby.
Still big for a baby, but scared of everything. Mama Micha, the mama cat, she commands Leroy. We call her the babysitter.
Absolutely. She has total control with just a look. It's amazing. And
they play Itchy and Scratchy. I call it Itchy and Scratchy every morning. He sticks his big fat head in her zone, and she
slaps his face.
Yep, smacks him in the face.
They both love it.
Yeah, he's going to lose an eye. But.
Absolutely, but they're happy. So
everything's going well. That's Leroy, and I kid. He is a pain in the butt, but I love him to death.
So what else was going on? This summer we had a little break in the guests at the end of summer, and I scheduled us 3 nights to go drive across the country and go to the Mediterranean side, to the coast. And you get some different seafood, get a little different just slice of Italy. We had never been over there before. Yeah, I can't exactly. It was, remember where I should have looked it up beforehand. It was in a little, not a port. What is that called? Marina. And it was lovely, except it was a comedy of errors because, oh God, it got so hot. And we went to go out to dinner one night, and we thought we were going to throw up. There was no air in this tiny restaurant.
We went to this really nice, like not fancy, but just really nice. It was on a cliff. You know how it is here. They build the little restaurant into the cliff. It was run by a family. It was not a really big place. However, I don't understand, but there was no air that night. And you know how Italian restaurants, they pack you into these restaurants.
Little 20 tables, but packed in there.
Packed. And it was
zero air. It was like almost as if it had been sucked out of the room. We had to take turns going outside. I thought... I stopped even just drinking wine. I was just like, I am not feeling good. We had to ask to take our meal to go when it was done.
The second course, yeah.
Yeah, the second course.
We ordered a whole beautiful grilled fish. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
I was like, I will throw up all over
We didn't eat, neither one of us really touched the pasta.
Sweating.
And then we're like, we got to go. We got to go.
Oh my God, it was crazy. So that was like our romantic dinner out. That didn't go so well. We decided the next morning, let's go to the beach. Go to do the beach club thing for the day. That'll be fun. 5 minutes within getting there, we go into the sea. Jason goes, oh my God, I think I stepped on something. Yeah, it's called a sea urchin that went, I don't even know how many, like 60 spines in your foot or something crazy. It was terrible.
It was more of a pain than it didn't really hurt that bad, but you couldn't walk, and I had to spend the rest of the trip literally soaking my foot in vinegar, hot water, and trying to pick out these spines. But the beach club was super swanky, like really nice. It was tiny. It wasn't one of those enormous ones with 800 chairs. This had like 10 chairs.
Uh-huh.
It was really private in this little cove. They were
We're gonna have like a really nice fish lunch there.
Yeah, really personable. They sit us down. I put down my towel on the little chair. I take off my shirt and go right in the water and immediately step on a thing. And it's my fault. I mean, but a little heads up. Like, they obviously know that there's sea urchin right there, and the water's super shallow for at least 50 meters out.
I said to the lifeguard right after it happened, I was like, do you have anything? My husband stepped on a sea urchin. And she was like, oh, yeah, this happens all the time. No, we don't have anything. And
so if it happens all the time... All right, that's the deal. Low battery. Sorry about that.
Okay, we might have to start wrapping some of it.
I got batteries.
Okay. So it totally. I mean,
it wasn't. Just a little heads up for.
It was also hilarious. The Italians' reaction. Half the Italians were like, "Go to the emergency room immediately." The other half were like, "Let it pass through your body, and it'll come out the top of your foot someday," or something weird. And it was like, what?
There was more than one person who said I should go to the emergency room.
This is true.
And I'm not going to the emergency room.
Jason just chose to dig them out.
I dug them out with a needle and hot water and Epsom salts.
Oh, my God. Well, you were a total sport because I had arranged for us to do this, like, what I thought would be really cool fishing dinner.
It was. Okay. This was no fault of this guy.
No. So, first of all, we're at this marina, like I said, for 3 nights or whatever. And Jason's got... we're walking around or just from our room, and Jason's daydreaming about owning a boat and which one he would have and where we would sail and all of these crazy things. And he's a seaman and all of this.
We would walk around from the port, I guess marina part is where the fancy, nice boats, private boats are. And then there was a port side, which is fishing boats. And then
we'd walk past that on the way into town.
They had like 2 or 3 boat fabrication for sailboats. So we'd walk the whole port every day almost. And I would talk about which one I would want, don't want that one. I'm a sailor. I'm a sailor. I'm a man of the sea. Does the mast
come with it? Or
does the rigging come with it? How does a boat work?
A lot of questions. A lot of declarations and dreams. So anyway, that was just kind of a fun, vacation talk. And so we had to go onto the boat, and it's like, oh, great, our boating dreams are coming true tonight, and we're going to go. And the guy used to be a chef and decided he didn't want to work in a restaurant anymore and just wanted to have a boat, catch the fish, and make these meals for people off the side of the boat, whatever. And so we went out, and it was gorgeous afternoon. We spent a couple hours, an hour or two.
Few hours.
Pulling in the.
He threw the nets earlier in the day threw out his nets, and then we went out and started pulling them up. And it took, I don't know, it was kilometers of net. So it took a good couple of hours to pull up the nets. And we caught a couple. We didn't catch much. We caught a couple of octopus. We caught a couple of small fish.
Australia kind of thing.
Yeah, some different stuff you find like sea sponge and
cucumber,
sea cucumbers and all the. But it was just nice. It was just nice being out there. And
Jason could ask a million questions, and the guy was like, "Jump on in, like help out." It was great.
And that was all perfect. And he's like, "All right, we got the nets in. The sun's down. We're gonna go." We're going to go sail Little Cove, 20 minutes maybe from where we were.
Drop anchor, and I'm going to start cooking stuff up. And as he even let Jason steer the boat, as he was like making ceviche and stuff. And it was like, this is a freaking dream day. Like, this is gorgeous. It's so much fun.
So we get into this little cove, which is just literally maybe a couple of kilometers up the coast from where the port is, where he picked us up. We're not far at all. Sun is just going down. He's throwing the anchors. He's getting the barbecue ready. And within, 20 minutes,
he gives us the ceviche and a little story about the fish and the bread and all of this stuff. And we always wondered, there's these like weird, you'll see this like cracker bread at some of the grocery stores that look like dried out bagels cut in half, like cut open. And we never knew what the hell it was. He said it's some whatever bread, and you rehydrate it with the seawater. So he like dunks it in the sea really quick. It like rehydrates. I don't know. It could have been the whole situation. I wasn't really digging it, but all of a sudden, I'm like, I think I'm going to throw up. I don't know if I can do this. It's just the rocking was so perfect, one side, the other.
It wasn't
one
rough.
Side, the other.
There was no air.
Smooth. No, yeah. All of a sudden,
it wasn't.
No air.
I wouldn't call it rough seas. It was quite the opposite. It was a perfect left to right.
Oh my God. I look up. Jason is white and sweaty. He goes, he's just like shaking his head no. And I thought, I've never seen him do this. And also we feel so bad. Like the guy's like cooking it up, doobity boop, boop, boop. And he's like cooking up all the fish and all this stuff. He has no idea.
I'm really trying hard to keep it together. I'm just kind of like,
I take my grilled octopus and I toss it off the side of the boat when no one's looking. So it looked like I ate it. Jason didn't even care. He was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And we asked the guy.
I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm horribly sick. I can't. He's like, well, maybe just sit down. It's like, I am sitting. He's like, well, then, stand up, concentrate on a thing. I'm like, no. I apologize. This is great. We've got to pull up the anchors and go immediately.
So it's like, okay, no problem. When we get back to the port, I'll do the fish of the pasta at the port. And we were like, great. And the whole time I'm like going through my wallet, getting the cash, getting a tip in there ready to go, because this is not this guy's fault at all. We get to the port and he like parks in and he's like, all right, let me just get the water fired up for the pasta. We were like, no. We throw him the money basically. We're just like,
he's like, are you sure everything was okay?
We're like,
no, it's not your fault. I can't do. I have to go.
And then he was like, when it gets settled in, you got to ride it out. Like, there's no way to stop this.
Yeah, I go, is there a way to stop it? Is there a trick? He goes, nope. You just have
it
to.
It just happens sometimes. We get, 100 yards, 200.
200 meters. I just lose it into the sea.
Oh my God. So it was like, we had a really romantic getaway. The sea urchin.
That was the last night, right?
That was the last night.
Yeah.
We had good memories, good times, good laughs.
I guess. It was kind of a shit trip, but it did have a lot of good stories to it.
Oh, so those are our vacations when we get a chance to get away. But it was fun nonetheless. Let's see.
So bringing it back all the way around. The next morning before we left, we did do a walk around the port, but I did not talk about which boat I would like to have.
His yachting dreams were over.
Yeah, it's over.
That was cheap. It was cheap. It was a good way to find out. That was the cheapest way to find out. So that was the end of summer. Going into fall, it was still warm and dry, which led to a not great truffle season.
No.
It was 4,000 euros a kilo.
I think it probably ended a little more, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. We did have, miraculously, on the truffle hunts that I went on with the guests, we were successful one way or another, which was incredible. The truffle hunters would be like, can you please come back tomorrow? It was hilarious. You're out with these two guys who are in their early 40s, mid 40s, whatever. One is the truffle hunter who is also a farmer and then like goes and does motorcycle trips throughout Europe and whatnot. The other is the commerciante, the middleman, and he just comes out kind of for the fun of it. And it's a good show for him to be out there with the guests and stuff too. And he's a character and kind of a bit more flashy or whatever. But we're out there and we started finding white truffles and they kept going, these two Italians, first of all, between chain smoking would say, oh my God, what an emotional day. The emotions are so high. Can you feel the emotions? And because I'm translating this stuff to the guests throughout the morning and it's just so funny because it's not what you're expecting. Like, oh my God, this is great, or what a cool morning, or whatever. But not, che emozione, what emotions on a morning like this. And then they'd be like, "You guys are good luck. Can you come back tomorrow?" But it was fun. But it was not a great year overall. So much so that the commerciante would drive with, when we'd go out truffle hunting, with his scale and cash in the car ready to go in case he came across anyone because there weren't much to go around. So he wanted to meet them.
He wasn't waiting for them to come to him.
No, he wasn't waiting for them to get all the way into town. Yeah. I'm going to meet you on the back road, and if I run into someone, we can pony up right here, settle up right here. But it was a great year for the festivals. Were great, well attended. The weather was so warm, so there was tons of people out for them. But sadly, just not much of the truffles to go around.
No.
Same with the mushrooms. Were kind of a late start.
Hunting has not gone really. The boar hunting has been the weekends. They've been around. They got 4 right behind our house yesterday.
Leroy was not interested.
No.
The boar hunters are so hilarious. They're like, because they use out here teeny Jack Russells. And they push the boar through the woods. And
beagles.
Or beagles. Maybe that's what it is.
It's beagles.
Or a mix, whatever.
Yeah. Tiny dogs, though.
Yeah. And so they see Leroy and they're like, Cabello, what a big, beautiful dog. Come here. And they're like, come and show him. Let's show him. We got some boar. They just drug through the field. Fresh kill. Leroy has zero interest. He's more interested in the guys, wondering if anyone has any sausages, Würstel in their pocket. Because whenever he would first meet people along our road, it was the truffle hunter and their dogs, and they would keep treats and hot dogs in their pocket. And so he'd keep getting treats all the time. So he could care less about the...
All right, that's annoying. That was the second time low battery cut us off.
I don't even know where we were. Talking about hunting and stuff, but whatever.
Yeah, hunting's kind of over. It didn't really go well in the valley this year. I don't know if that's the word on the street. Didn't go with Gachi. He's and the weather's now crappy and cold. So. Oh,
but right before I forgot to even post a photo, so it's like it didn't even happen. But right before boar season started, we were invited to a lunch by the hunters, and it was so cool. They had Franchino, the guy who was born in the house, and a local hero of sorts, Renaissance all around town kind of guy, was doing the polenta. They had boar in umido, so like stewed boar. It was just a blast. It was all the guys. Even if I didn't know who they were, they all knew who we were because they all hunt right around here. And they're like, oh, we've passed your house, so many times, or we know about the tomatoes, or this or that. They're the
ones who gave us the shit about
empty fence.
Yeah, they gave us the most shit about
why is it so high? Why is the fence so high? And so it was great. To kind of do that community thing and have the opportunity. Normally we're so busy at times that we miss these, and it just so happened to have a Sunday lunch free, and sadly Jason wasn't feeling well, but I went to represent and I had a blast. I think they all had fun.
I missed out. I was not. Could not leave the house.
But you still made a dessert.
Well, yeah, you can't show up empty-handed. That's ridiculous.
And it would be crazy for me to make it. So
no one wants you to make it. Let's see what's going on. Going on around town, around here lately. Oh, the talk of everyone is the energy. We're in a little energy crisis here. Not a little one, a big one. Most people's cost for electricity in the home has tripled. I know ours has. It's ridiculous.
Up at the Hunter's Hideaway, where I've taken many guests on our Friday, eating our way through a Pacquiao, and we go up to Aqua Partita and have lunch. They live upstairs, and there's a decent-sized family-run restaurant on the main floor, on the ground level. Their energy bill had climbed up to about $2,000 a month. Now they have a huge kitchen. They have serious refrigeration. If you were lucky enough when you were with us to go and do like the behind the scenes tour where they cure their own meat, you'd remember these coolers, these walk-ins are massive and highly regulated of humidity, temperature, all of it. Anyway, so it was about $2,000 a month. Well, as soon as now the energy crisis is hitting, their first bills in the summer, because their contract changed in the summer, were $10,000. By August, it was €12,000 a month.
So this is going to be the death of.
They were like, well, just shutting off a fridge. We shut off a fridge. We don't have the lights on in the back room when we're not using it. What does that save us? $200? I have no idea. And no, it does not.
So not to get political, but we're fucked. We're totally screwed. And it's
not just us. Like lots of hotels over this winter. Thank God we didn't have a cold fall, because we were for the first time not allowed to even turn on the heat.
No,
until
they sent a thing
date.
that you can't. I think it was to tell because the tourists are going to bitch. So they enacted these rules that said you couldn't turn on in a hotel or agriturismo the heat until a certain day. Mm-hmm. It was all like mid-November. But so much so that all the bars and cafes in all the towns, they close they're closed in the evening because it's not.
Small grocery stores have limited hours now too.
You walk into now if you walk into a giant commercial center, no. But if you walk into the local grocery store, only half the lights are on all the time. We're screwed. And the government, instead of figuring out a solution to our problem, has said, here's €300. I don't want your €300. You're just going to print a bunch of money and make inflation go higher again. Stop giving people free money. Fix the problem.
So,
okay, enough.
It's the holiday season. So that is what's going on really around the water cooler. But otherwise, then it's the talk of the winter projects of doing things like the sausages and salami. So Gaji was all pumped up to get that set on the calendar.
Yep, 20th of December, I pick up all the meat. I got a new meat grinder this year. My old one, done, 15 years, finished. So we'll do a little bit of that. Not the typical 150 kilo, but more reasonable 50 kilo. So that'll be up to, and then this year is maintenance in the rooms. I'm ready. Stucco and paint, and we're gonna, now that we have a giant puppy in the ground floor, we're probably gonna have to repaint the ground floor. I'm sure that's coming up.
We do that every spring.
Not a whole full on repaint. We'll touch, but this is gonna be full on. Pardon me.
Well, we'll get it done. It's also 'tis the season for all of the Christmas markets and festivals of that sort going on. And we started to write a little list because it was like, we've gone to a lot of these Italian Christmas markets.
Mostly because this is the time of year when our season's done and we would travel. So we would always find ourselves somewhere in the month.
Late November,
early December.
And so one we had gone to that was memorable just because it was Sicily. It was the Palermo. They do the night markets, and this was one with we were starting for all the Christmas stuff, and the lights were up, and we were there at the end of November, and it was just kind of cool because also we were there. It poured that entire trip.
It was so funny. We would be talking to people, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're here visiting? Oh, too bad. This is only the 4th day of rain we've gotten this year." It's like. Yep.
They'd say it only rains 8 days a year here, and we were there for like all of them. It was just like, oh my God. So it was just this dreary mess. But I remember thinking at least there was like the little Christmas markets getting set up. A really cool one that there is out here in our area. Of course, like every town has different versions of this, but it gets really quiet around us for the most part. They'll do much more heavy with the maybe a little Christmas tree lighting and concert with the kids, and then the nativity scene. But there's not a lot of the big markets unless you're on the coast and stuff. But there's a really pretty one in a tiny town called Candele, and they light the whole town by candles, and that was a really memorable one. Jason couldn't.
I don't remember that at all.
He was like, "What are you talking about?"
Show me photos. I don't believe it.
Just to the north of us, they shut out all the street lights and everything.
With the conviction you tell this story, obviously we went.
It was beautiful. That was a really good one. Of course, there's Bologna, but that's just kind of like the same mix that you see in Pesaro or something on the coast here, kind of the standard issue.
We did Verona.
Verona was really pretty, and that was driving on our way up north. And of course, Bolzano, that's like one of the biggest ones, right at the base of as you get into the Alps, if you will, or not base of it, but that starts the kind of.
So we usually take the eastern kind of trip through when we go north. We don't usually go to the west, so we don't know about the ones on that border of
Cortina.
Switzerland and Cortina's to the east. I'm talking about the west, like above Milan, like going up into Switzerland and up to France and Switzerland. We don't really know that area so well.
No, I tend to like some of the Bavarian influence and all of that too. If we're going up for the Christmas stuff,
so you can't go wrong with Bolzano, Vipiteno, Bressanone. These are all little towns that are right on the highway as you head north into Österreich.
Austria. Österreich. But as Jason said, so Bolzano is great because it's this kind of kickoff one. Beautiful, great food. It's just what you're looking for.
It's a bigger
one. Bressanone is the next town to the north, which was sweet. I remember they had in their main little piazza, which was much smaller than Bolzano, the like Comune, the big city hall building, had all the windows were different for the different advent calendars. So different days they would open up, and it was just beautiful. And then as you go even further north, Vipiteno was really sweet, and we were there for their like Christmas tree lighting.
We were there when they were like setting it up that afternoon.
That was the evening. Yes, yeah. It was going to be the big festival, and that you just feel like you're in the heart of it. Of like,
yeah, it's a tiny town.
And they do the thing where it's got the. There's so many Christmas trees everywhere, which is incredible because out here there's barely any. And every restaurant, window, every stoop, everywhere, there's not stoop, but entrance, whatever, there's trees everywhere. But also they would make the snowmen and the reindeer out of the logs of wood, which I just loved. It's just quaint. It's not over the top, but probably the best one is the one above Bolzano.
So So it's really interesting when you're in Bolzano. You're not really at high elevation at all. I think you're only at a couple of 100 meters.
Mm-hmm. It's really weird.
The mountains, you're in this valley as you go north. Bolzano, Bressanone, Vipiteno. When you look to your left and your right, there's huge peaks. Of thousands of meters up into the air. But there, you're really low. It's just kind of weird. Now, if you get up into the little towns, like they call it Uberbolzano.
So it's Oberbolzen or Sopra Bolzano, because a lot of the towns will be both in Italian and in German. And above Bolzano is the name of the town. And you take a little vernacular up to the top, and that wasn't a little vernacular. That was a legit.
You're right. Gondola.
Lift. Gondola. You're right. But it transports you to like kind
another
of back
world.
In time.
Yeah.
It is teeny tiny. There is a little train that connects the little towns, little hockey team, very little, like one little grocery store, a couple little restaurants, but you have to like walk to them. There's not even a road that gets you exactly to the restaurant.
But the best part about those markets is there might only be 10 stalls, but all the stalls are from people who actually make stuff. Whereas the big markets down, it's a lot of chintzy, like a lot of junk.
You just start seeing the same stuff everywhere.
And it's, mass produced, probably from China, etc. These are a glass blower.
Now, of course, they're all going to have also like great shearling and some of these farms but you just start seeing the same stuff, or the Christmas ornaments look all the same. But yeah, up here, that you have kids making wreaths. You have
glass blowers blowing Christmas ornaments. You have people you could tell this is someone who does, lots of stuff in wood.
You get on the little train and do the little train ride and go, I don't even know how many kilometers.
It wasn't 10 kilometers. It wasn't far.
But it's through the snow and these little teeny tiny, barely villages. And it is so charming and romantic. That is where my favorite spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's these little pockets of villages above the main main cities as you go up. And that's where the cool stuff really is. But you got to get up there. That's the only thing.
I love a good Christmas market.
Yep.
We've been to a lot.
Ashley's into eating sausages and beer in the morning too. She likes that part.
Maybe that's why I like the Bavarian side.
Yeah.
Or the kind of German influence.
Yeah. It's not to eat the white sausage and a beer in the morning is totally acceptable.
Yeah.
That's like it's a breakfast.
It is.
So Christmas markets in Italy. Now, I want to get into the more Austrian and German Christmas markets, and that will be the next kind of, I feel like we've done the good ones in Italy.
We have, but we've been to Innsbruck. We did that a couple years ago. We've been to the Christmas market in Bruges. We spent a Christmas in Bruges because we went and did that Christmas concert. Brussels. We lived in Amsterdam for a winter and had Christmas there. There was Christmas markets everywhere. Bordeaux. That was like right after
that was right after the horrible massacre at the market the year before.
In Bordeaux.
No, it wasn't in Bordeaux. It was somewhere else.
I thought it was where they ran into the people at the Christmas market. Anyway, I just remember there was police everywhere. Like you'd have to go through these.
Like it had hardcore like airport security. It was like
totally.
This is kind of taking me out of it. When we have to get patted down, and that guy just felt my nuts.
Oh my god! Yeah, Merry Christmas, Joyeux Noël.
I know we got like patted down to go to the Christmas market.
Oh, something though I would love to do is the cruise.
So there is a cruise down the Rhine. Well, a cruise it's not a cruise ship when I say cruise. It is a riverboat down the Rhine, and they stop at the different Christmas markets as you go down. It might be only a weekend or it might be a week. I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know either, but that would be really fun. But I feel like it's going to be a lot of oldies.
Yeah, we'd be the youngest ones by 30 years.
That 30 years is getting closer and closer to 20 or whatnot.
It is.
But maybe one day, but I sure enjoy it. It's fun. It's festive.
So Christmas coming up. We're only less than, 12, 14 days till Christmas.
We've got to do the Cappelletti.
We've got to do Cappelletti still. Gaji and Rosanna, update on the Godster. He's doing well. Same old. Same old Gaji.
Curmudgeonly.
Yeah. We got to, we haven't seen him in a couple of days because he went back to the coast. It just, the weather got crappy and cold and they just went back to the coast. But I'm sure we'll see him in the next couple of days. But all in all, once Christmas comes and goes, then it's the dog days of winter. January and February are kind of the months here. The only two ones. Because once the end of February, early March comes, it's back to the garden and the earth starts waking up. But once Christmas and New Year's are kind of past, it's kind of...
Well, what it is perfect for is the time to plan your 2023 holiday to Italy during those dog days of winter where you're exhausted and cold and you're thinking, I just need to get away. We are currently taking reservations for the full farmhouse bookings, whether it's a small group of 4 or 6 to a bigger group of 14 or so. We'll take care of all the details. Shoot me a message. June is basically fully booked. July, I would say almost, and starting for August and into the fall. So if you want to bring a small group out and have me kind of put a custom package together for you guys based on whatever you are most interested in doing, maybe it's just doing some wine tastings, maybe it's just hanging out at the house and having everyone cook for you, maybe it's getting your hands dirty and doing a bit of it yourself. But let me know and we'll get planning for next year, and then soon, in a couple weeks, right around, well, I guess that's not that far away, right around the new year, we'll announce the regular cooking workshops for 2023 as well. Tends to be mostly in the fall, our 2 and 3 night kind of getaways of a taste of Italy with our market tour, dinner, cooking class, and mushroom hunt.
All right, very good. Well, this was a low energy podcast, I have to say. I would give us a...
I think we started strong with the batteries, kept dying, and then the energy was harder to come back
I was going to say, I was going to give us...
As the snow is falling.
I would say I was giving us a C+ on this one.
Yikes. Don't delete. Let's just put it up, and at least we got one up. And
don't worry, no one's listening.
No one's going to listen, but maybe we'll do another one.
Don't say that, because don't say that. If we do another one, we do it. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to us babble into two microphones in the middle of nowhere. It still shocks me that people actually listen to this, and I don't know. Don't you have anything better to do with your time?
Oh, thank you so much for tuning in. You know where to find us. La Tavola Marche, LATAVOLAMARCHE.com. Follow us on Twitter. Well, actually, I'm never even on Twitter. YouTube. Really not on there either, but Facebook, Instagram. You can
not
follow,
really on there.
You can follow Leroy the Great Dane on Instagram at Leroy the Great Dane for his. Well, I didn't want to like flood our pages with his stuff, but I thought it would be fun to put something out for just when I wanted to put those.
Absolutely, I'm just not. I mean, we love our dog and we're into our dog, but not. Everyone needs to see, oh, look, Leroy took another dump today.
Exactly. So if you want to, there's a special place for
you
to
follow. There you go.
You should start an OnlyFans page.
Oh! His wiener's out enough.
Oh, my God.
All right, enough. This got weird at the end. Okay, thank you.
Have a good one.
Aguri.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.